Uh, Game of Thrones has changed TV forever. So even though it's over, it's done. We're sure that its legacy will live and will, find its way into the other productions. Craft, amazing craft on every level. The story, the characters, but also, across the board from model makers, anyone on set, anyone on the post. It has, raised the bar so high that it's just going to be hard to move on with the other production at the same level. So I think, that's the legacy. We already used that word, Game of Thrones quality. Absolutely. I mean, the scope was so huge. We dealt with so many different things. I come from a company called Scanline Visual Effects. They also have a office in Germany. And we worked on the throne melt, we worked on the Missandei death, we worked on on the death of the two brothers, Danny's death. We worked on the entire King's Landing. It used to be practical in the previous seasons. They shot a lot of those shots in Croatia, in a city called Dubrovnik. But because of the logistical nightmares in the season 8 and the fact that we had to damage it, right? So we sort of rebuilt the entire city digitally, and that was huge. That was huge. Actually, the episode 3 was done by a different company, but I can say that I'm sure they have did their best. They've done their best to make sure that it looks perfect in a dark theater. What you can do to make sure it works on every phone, tablet, and TV, right? And in any different light condition. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it looked really good. Well, you spend a long time building the city digitally, right? A long time. We spent months building that city based on all the references that we had, and then you spend a few weeks destroying it. So I think we were more sad about it ourselves that the work has to sort of be that way. But no, I think this was fun and this was great and this was one of the very iconic moments for us to be able to put the craft that we have at our company, which is all about destruction, damage, and that sort of scope of work. We're able to use that to craft Game of Thrones season 8 to a whole different level. We worked very closely with Joe Bauer and Steve Kalbach, and they were the visual effects supervisor and visual effects producer on the HBO side. And they had a long preparation before we got in. They spent a lot of time, month of planning and making sure that when we get involved, when we get into the post-production, everything is as perfect as it possibly could be. And the amount of the effort that went into every single shot, is something that we rarely see in the higher profile feature film sort of business, right? Like the level of the quality that these guys put into the preparation and planning, absolutely top notch, amazing. The throne melt sequence, and we started that early on, very early on. We started that more than a year before it aired, right? And we spent a lot of time going back and forth, making sure that it's the best you have ever seen on the screen technically, but also making sure that it can tell the story and it can sort of connect to the emotional aspect of that moment. It took a long time to figure that out with a lot of changes and tweaks, but I think what ended up to be there at the last looks really good and we're all very proud of it.